Just a few clicks. Hmm. Okay. Posting a live market analysis on my Twitter. Evening session. Sunday. Wait, I have to unpin something from my profile because it's. No. Okay, let's go. Monday, Canada inflation rate. Wait, it was. Okay, it happened before. So another week. Monday, no events. Today is Sunday. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. And Friday. No evenings at Friday. Non-farm payrolls. Okay. Well, my last trade was a small success. Initially, it started to retrace, but it stopped at 61.8, and then it reached a desired level, 29.2. I feel a little bit sick. I feel inflammation in my throat and in my head in general, so basic symptoms of some kind of flu, and it really affects my ability to concentrate. Not that much, but it does. So when I saw price reacting over there, I thought immediately this might be a good point, especially after such a strong reaction like this, for a short, but I haven't took it because it would be even like, a reactive approach towards trading, because this was quite big candle. And right now, yeah, but perhaps this is a good entry for a long again. Perhaps even more secured entry. Something in this range, like, price previously didn't. I'm sorry. Price previously reached above 29.2 and then retrace down, but within the range of 61.8. And this time it reacted with 29.2. I don't know really what to do with that. Technically, it gives me another good entry because it's at the same height as I previously entered. So technically, it's trading below 60, but it doesn't want to fall lower than that. Is it going to fall lower? I hope it is, because I need time. I'm gonna buy some positions in Bitcoin, but not yet. XY, this is Australian dollar. Look, if I took long on US tech, I would be stopped out. And I would suffer significant losses because this was $40 on a minimal pip size. But right now, you should see that. You see that, I was focusing on a fair value gap. And right now, price is trending in this range of fair value gap. So possibly, no, this could be a good entry. Just possibly. For a long. Let's go into smaller time frames. 2 hour. On a 2 hour, this fair value gap disappears. What about 3 hour? On a 3 hour, yeah, this fair value gap is still visible. And well, I would personally risk that long on Nasdaq when it's going to open. It will open in 4 hours and 16 minutes. I will be asleep. But in the morning, if nothing happens, then I'm gonna probably enter long Nasdaq. No, this is what everybody can see. This is what I can see. This is what you can see. This is what anyone can see opening the charts right now. But instead of opening the charts, it's easier to scroll your TikTok or Twitter feed. And I completely get it. I'm doing this myself. Probably too often. And well, as I said, this might be too obvious. This might be wait, this might be not good because we traded below 61.8. We reacted from 29.2. Okay, this might be too obvious. I have to get rid of any bias. But you know, the fair value gap is okay. The fair value gap in this context, if we're talking about this fair value gap, the fresher one worked just as fine as this one worked. So they, I know this. This reminds me of something, you know. This reminds me of some squeeze. No, it doesn't help. Okay, this is going to be a support trend line, which is not a perfect way to draw support, because the support should be a horizontal line, not a curved line, or how does it? Not just a AB line, you know. So a trend line. This is a trend line. This is not a support line. But okay, let's just be open-minded, like I try to be. There is a nice 61.8 over there, and there is not as nice 61.8 on a bigger scale, So I would be leaning more towards shorting the market, if not the current condition. So if not um, price action being so far away from the best point of entry, which was at the Feb 61.8. I'm sick. I feel sick. And I'm doing the charts anyway. You know? I did this many times in my previous job. I was sick and I did the job anyway. Did I felt like Steve Jobs because of that? Or like Elon Musk? No. I'm considering to go to the doctor tomorrow and just take a free time. I don't need a L4 for the trading, but I could also need that. What else happened here? A change in volume. Market start dropping heavily. The candles that go down are heavier than the candles in general. No. UK oil. There are going to be price increases in autumn in the grocery stores. So try to be thankful for your work, for the boss that you have, because he's going to be not paying you more, and you are going to need more money for your grocery. And of course, you could ask for the systemic solutions, like price control. But then we could end up without food, because nobody's going to produce food for the lower prices if the diesel prices are going to be higher. You know? That's interesting to hear, because since a month, over a month, we have some bearish conditions on the oil. which is a good thing. This could be, should be falling down. I don't know, you know, I'm not very good at fundamentals and not good, very good at rumors. Sorry. I literally don't know if I sweat because of the heat or because of the inflammation that I have. Probably both. Okay, S&P. Oh, let's look at this again. Is it tradable in a way? Can you see some good structure? Some some 61.8. No. S&P 500. Very similar structure to US tech, but like on a smaller scale, I would say. There could be signs. The signs are such that nothing actually. Okay. Okay. There is a difference. The difference is such. On Nasdaq, there was a reaction towards 29.2, as you could see. A vivid reaction, 29.2, and on S&P, there is no reaction on 29.2, just a drop or a gap. And that's it. So it might revisit 29.2, just as it did over there, and then it might continue falling down. The favorite direction of many realistic people, falling down. I'm in my cognitive bubble, closed in my cognitive bubble, and the bears are waking up. Yeah, especially the Bitcoin bears. They accepted it's falling down. It's not going to rise. We are not going to the moon. Okay, everything's good. We're not gonna see 1 million this time, so we are falling down. Everyone accepted that. So the guys like Peter Schiff are waking up. I see more interviews with them. Peter Schiff was always against investing in Bitcoin. He has his own podcast. I'm nobody. He's famous, of course. And he said, at least previously, in the previous bull markets, that he's never going to invest in Bitcoin. But if at any time, I think right now could be a good time to invest in it. Although the gurus, the specialists, are having some concerns because if we gonna enter in a global recession, which would mean like recession on a normal market, not on a crypto market, then Bitcoin would probably also nuke a little bit deeper. Some say even towards 30,000, which would be like 50% decrease from a current levels. But 50% decrease if you buy this on a spot, nothing will happen to you if you don't invest money that you cannot lose. And you can wait and you can DCA. So this is a very good stuff. Bitcoin is very good investment, especially for the young people like me. I really have a special relationship with Bitcoin. Okay. So if you have some savings and you don't know what to do, you can put them into Bitcoin even right now. It is a very good price, Over there, people were confused if we're gonna go higher because this was some kind of retracement, but no, obviously. Let's study this a little bit on a daily time frame. On a daily time frame, you can be a good trader because it's easier. But daily time frame, it's not a real art. It's not a real trading. You see 61.8, right? You saw that, and here we fold below 61.8 and the price reacted to 88.6, which is in a gold market, in a silver market, there were patterns when this kind of triangles appeared, and the price even continued bull market. But in this case, no, it didn't happen. And the worst thing about such places is that on the other scale, like on the other side, on the bear side, you don't have this kind of 61.8 retracement. This rating is not easy anymore, You should be probably measuring from there, but you are not. And instead of looking at fib retracement, we all should be looking at moving averages because they are quite accurate. Firstly, the cross of fast period and middle period, and then what is the middle period? Gray is middle period, yeah. So fast period, middle period, and then fast period and slow period crossed. And this was a clear sign that we have entered bearish market. And only then we got a correct retracement or a correction, some say. I don't get it why. Like some gurus call it correction. Like this is a correction in a downtrend. Correction down. Okay, this is correct. Okay. But this is just a retracement, yes? Just a retracement. So I wanted to short it, but I wasn't sure about it because you are never sure, you know? This is why on Bitcoin and stuff like this, it's very good to use like daily time frame or even more than that, because you have idea of what is going to happen. And you know, right now we should be creating another legs, so another leg down. I think that we're gonna fall below 61.8, but this is not going to be something extraordinary. Perhaps not even, because there are people, like very rich people, lots of money, they want the price of Bitcoin fall a little bit lower, so they have orders perhaps at this 52, perhaps even 49,000. But I doubt it's going to fall lower than that. Really, it would really like have to be like World War III or something like that for the Bitcoin to see price below that. But if we're gonna see that, then this is going to be a very good opportunity to invest, and I'm gonna do a lot to be able to get some capital and somehow invest in it, perhaps even taking a loan, which I don't encourage. But if it's going to fall like below 50, then yes, really, perhaps taking a loan, because I don't want to work my whole life, you know? And I already had one opportunity to get out of the hamster wheel, and I screw it badly. Okay. Okay. Let's why I said daily time frame. You know, on Bitcoin you have this retracements that you can track on a daily time frame. But let's look on a Nasdaq, for example. On a Nasdaq on a daily time frame, you really cannot track retracement, at least in this modern policy, financial policy. Of course, you can like 2023. See, daily time frame. There is something like 50 retracement 50, right? And then you're trying to measure from the bottom. There is no retracement. There is no 50, 56, 51.8. You know what I mean? Just over there, like to the 50. You see? So the 50 works on Nasdaq on a daily time frame. Of course, you could measure this from different bottom. If you measure it from a different bottom, then you have different outcomes, but it doesn't really like personally tell me anything. So I like to have a strong fundamentals in my technical analysis. So if I measure from the bottom, then I measure from the bottom. And if I have a retracement, I want to know what kind of retracement this is. As you can see, Bitcoin is a lot better on a daily time frame compared to a Nasdaq on a daily time frame. And the markets are always new, they're always live. Perhaps someone knows how it's going to look like in the future. Perhaps the computer knows. Perhaps the algorithm knows. Perhaps the guy who's controlling it knows. But we don't know. I don't know. And as you can see, here's the piece of my analysis. Remember the fair value gap over there, the fair value gap up there, and very strong daily candles that suggest also continuation of a downtrend. But if we look at the market, what it did previously, okay, we had some consolidation. Wait. Okay, we had some consolidations. And right now, it's looking, I see some similarities. Do you see this as well? So here is the figure, you know, so the fib, or like this N figure, know what I mean? This kind of N, right? And there is it again, a little bit more compressed. But perhaps that's the clue. And we are going to see a reaction from there and some trading in this region, and then perhaps another I mean, like, if we simply like copycat the Nasdaq what it did before, so something like that, right? And then, you know, falling to this region and then continuation of a trend. This is like simply my idea of what it could be if we really just blueprint what happened before. On a daily time frame, yes. Looking at the market on a daily time frame. It gives me some idea. But let's look on the 4 hour, you see. On the 4 hour, there is a lot of mess. I should probably delete this whole history, but it doesn't matter, you know? It doesn't really matter. I like to see that I did something, and I like the trading view to have some data to process, because I paid a lot of money for the subscriptions back in the days. Even I paid for the whole year, and I traded maybe once. No, these were the times when I was rich in crypto. I even didn't care about paying for the whole year of like premium trading view. I just needed it for my list of altcoins. I could get a free list on a CoinGecko or this other websites that are available. And you know, trading crypto and working at the same time, this is really bad idea. It's going to, well, someone nuked something. It's going to be exhausting psychologically, especially if your work is also exhausting if your wife wants you to be engaged and not in this Zen mode. If she's annoyed by you being in the Zen mode, then trading is not for you. I try to be funny. It doesn't work. Okay. German 40. Also interesting stuff because I tried to predict something over there. Oh, I remember. German 40 was something else. I was looking at German 40 on... Okay, my trade. Remember my trade, my losing trade on German 40? When I posted a picture of a German woman smashing me to the ground. If my Polish people would see that, they would probably spit at me, on me. German culture is a lot different than Polish. A lot different. Okay. What happened? I was hoping for the market, German market, that it's going to behave, and it's going to respect some fib retracement, but it didn't. It decided in this moment that it's not going to do that. And as you can see, like the next time it happened, it did respect it, the fib. So you never know. You never know. It could look like this already over there, but it decided to look like this in a 6th day from my entry. So and right now, no, the markets are very similar because if you compare German 40, US tech, I mean a Nasdaq, and S&P 500, and those candles, no, they are not looking the same. See, I'm trying to push some theory, but I have to cancel it before it leaves my mouth. German 40. Now, if I continue to feel like this tomorrow, then I'm probably going to go to doctor instead of to my destination place. Now, you really have to put a fib retracements to every single I mean the measurements to every single fib retracement, to every single retracement. You have to be like a doctor because you are the doctor. No? And see how beautifully it's vivid and visible over there. You have a retracement. You can never get bored of this. And you know it should stop at 61.8, but it didn't. It stopped somewhere under, and it bounced from a moving averages. also disrespecting 50 fib and not going towards 29.2. And then it continued to fall down, but right now we are trading somewhere in the range of this black level, which is 88.6, which also has some meaning, but it's not as strong as it should, or as it could be. From my private studies, I discovered that 88.6 is usually a level of RSI exhaustion. So from there to there, we have like RSI exhaustion. Like you can also see that on a RSI chart. And the only difference on the RSI chart and the price action chart is that now this bottom on RSI is equal to this on the RSI, but it's not equal on the price action, which means that there was some strong pulling towards direction down on the price level. But on RSI, we are leveled, which technically means that the market is really defending this place, so it doesn't want to be more sold out. No, so many buy orders are being placed over there, which you can see from the volume. Twice as much orders defending the bottom, and this candle also with a long wick. So even a hammer candle, this might be some nice signal to enter long. But of course, it is against any reasonable strategy, reasonable fib strategy, because the structure of those candles is very choppy, and you can only suppose that this is like 50, 61.8, but no, structurally we should go lower. But it's not as obvious. Let's study the previous case, okay? Because we are diving into Elliott theory, because every single one of those is Elliott, wave. At least I think so. And this one is also Elliott wave. And this one is also Elliott wave. And I studied this, and I know how it sounds, like I'm crazy or something. But I did this. When I quit my job, the only thing I did was doing this on a chart. Not immediately. I gave myself like month or two. But I was so passionate about it, about these triangles. I dreamed about having triangles. And my wife misunderstood me. I meant these triangles, these purple triangles, not actual triangles and in bed with someone else. So each one of these triangles is kind of Elliott wave. And the only interesting part about it is the abnormalities with RSI. So if you take this, for example, and do the same on the RSI, you can see that there is a big distortion, which is called divergence in a professional trading terminology. So this divergence shows that the price extends in the direction down, but RSI doesn't want to show that it's so oversold, which like suggests a higher pressure. And you know, this one, I mean, like this one. Where is the bottom of this Elliot? Where is the beginning? Where is the end? No, it's always a good question. Perhaps this is a beginning and this is a end. But this Elliot's, Jesus, these Elliots are reversed. Go away, please. Go away. So these Elliots are reversed. They should look a little bit different. Yes. Okay. You know, the conclusion from this is such that we have to track the places where it does behave normally. No? So when the structure of this triangle is similar to this triangle, no, then you could expect the market to behave normally. Yes. This is a bottom of a Elliott. And this is the beginning, this is the end. And if you look at this Elliott, you cannot say this is the beginning and this is the end, because there's a divergence. It could still fall lower. But what made it not fall lower? I guess the price action over there. So a fib retracement that gave nice opportunity for the traders, I mean the big traders, to enter there, and then position themselves. Jesus, I thought it's taking a pee over there. Okay. We're now following the same logic over here, like this was a better retracement than this one. Perhaps on the hourly? No, on the hourly it even looks worse. On the 15-minute? I don't know. No, this is taking me too much time, as you can see. I lost the perspective. Gold. I was working whole weekend. On a computer. Gold looks like it found a bottom in a way. Yeah. You can never know, in the trading. You can really never know. The only thing you can know is to buy now and sell in 15 years. For our candle, today is 6th. Okay. Staring on the monitor 15 hours a day. That's the way you can get it. UK 100. See how massively it dropped? It's like it. Okay, this is also a COVID crash. US tech. But on a UK 100 as well. And right now another crash. What was it? Remember my last prediction? It was good prediction, but no action on my side on this one. You see this pattern? Reversed flip. And a normal flip. Oh. UK 100 is at this stage where it could possibly be a good trade for a short. But again, this support, it's not a clean, good clean structure. Well, I don't really have more energy to dive into the markets today, but I'm gonna quickly scan, and perhaps I'm gonna find something. The fresh mind is always welcomed. Fresh human with fresh abilities to analyze by himself. Okay, I wanted to short it. I did. Wanted to short it. It also worked, but it didn't because of the greedy stop loss. Inappropriate stop loss. Based on what? I have no idea. Perhaps I wanted to have 166 reward ratio. Okay. Six one eight. On the under the press trader. All I can think of is the past, you know, because it has so much weight on me. Everything's like sugar. You really have to be careful because whatever you do, if you do it too much, it's going to be bad for you. Is this market open? No, it opens in 2 hours and 24 minutes. And then the train is going to leave the station. And where is going to go? Like if based on RSI. Based on RSI, it's not going to respect this fib. It might instead visit the 61.8 levels. Let's draw a magnet or a magical banana or whatever. It's going to pull the price. You know what I mean by daily time frame and Forex? You know, daily time frame helps you if you... It helps me the most if I can see a fib retracement on the daily, right? Oh, I thought I'm gonna sneeze, but I wasn't able. But other than fib retracements, you can also see a support level from a daily. Those are also very significant. I remember coming back from my like finishing uh, my tour in Berlin. Very early in the morning, after a whole night driving. Jesus, it was so exhausting. I felt like I'm sick right now, yes? I feel inflammated. I felt every day worse than now, more exhausted than now. For a fucking 8 years straight. And I did that. Like, there's nothing I cannot do. Like, doing this, like, to myself for 8 years every day, a late night party in a truck until early morning, just before the sun started to set up or like shine just before the sunset. Just why I did this to myself? Like why the hell? Okay, this was the proof that I really hated myself. Like doing this job was a clear proof that I hate myself, and I wanted to punish myself. So I punished myself for that, and that's it. No more punishments. No more self-aggression towards me. I would never ever do that. I'm just gonna spend money and make money in an easier way. Never ever like struggle like that in my life again. I cannot imagine like how the fuck was I even able to think that it was a good job? I wouldn't be able to do that for the week. For a really I would just leave the truck on the side of the road and go back home with a train or anything and forget that I ever had to do that. Like it was the worst torture to my brain ever. Okay, I was thankful for my job uh, for some time. I was. And it's going to be the funniest if I ever gonna have to work, so come back there again. They probably are not going to accept me because they feel so fucking entitled. And they have right to feel like that because you have capital, you have jobs, you can choose who is more fucked today. I really don't understand why I stayed in the company so long. Probably because I was heavily invested into crypto and I couldn't change work. GBP JPY 61.8 and 50. Disrespected. I think I have a fever. I should be fever. Yeah. Should be quitting the job and taking a shower and going to bed and taking the pills. And deciding tomorrow, like waking up early and deciding whether I go out or I stay home. No, for a short time, my ex-wife, believed that I'm gonna make it on a trading, just for a short while. But I guess, like, she told this to some friends, and they said, "Jesus, you really believe that? He's gonna lose money. He's gonna make debt. Leave him as soon as you fucking can." And the funniest thing, that all of them wanted to fuck me. Women, I really don't understand women. I doubt they understand themselves. Because they are even more unstable than men are, and than I am sometimes. Okay, they didn't want to fuck me, they wanted to sleep with me, probably. But women are like this. They want to sleep with you, and tomorrow they feel like such a self-pity or self-hate that they even had this thought, like entertained that thought. This is amazing how life works. Other specialists. GBP AUD. USD card. CHF JPY. CAD JPY. NZD USD. Oh, it feels so. It feels like buying Bitcoin and selling it too early. And then you have this temptation, okay, let's buy it again. But there's actually no there's actually not a good place. I should be proud of this trade, and I am. I remember that trade. You know what I entered that? But wait, I got stopped out. I got stopped out on this one. Okay, so I'm not that proud. But anyway, I should be proud. We always should be proud, no matter what we do. Always be proud. No, the only thing that can make you feel less proud is a German woman. And if you ever meet a German woman, then I I pity you because these are some crazy entities, really. My father told me that a German woman is a good woman. It's a good candidate for a wife, even. No, nothing. I guess my father would like a German woman. And of course, I do have like periods when I also would enjoy a German wife, but like not all the time. Here's USD. USD AD, the same. Okay. Euro USD. Shouldn't be talking about German women, because I only. No, if I met, I didn't met. No, let's skip that. Let's leave that for some other time. Oh, no. No. Okay, 61.8 and 61. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I think we're gonna see something like that, and I'm gonna be the one who benefits on this move. Oh, oh, not good. 61.8 disrespected. But anyway, if there's going to be nothing else, then perhaps this is going to be worth it. Oh, Eurocat, the trade that made me famous. In my imagination, in my nerdy world, I mean. Is it open? No, 1 hour, 7 minutes. Euro. So euro currency market is opening 1 hour earlier compared to, let's say, this one. You see? Because the other ones are opening 2 hours. If you live in Germany, so if you really are very, very, a guy who wants to work on Sunday already from like is the first one who does it, then euro market is for you. Euro pairs. German women. Polish women. American women. Women. No, this is a forbidden topic actually. Women. If someone like me talks about women, it means like I'm very, very. I don't know the word. You could fit any word you want. It doesn't matter actually. Eurocard. Euro CHF. Heroic. I'm very heroic if I allow myself to talk about women as a man. Because we live in a world, especially in Europe, this is a female world. Feminist world. Strong women and weak men. Okay. Okay. I see something. And I would want to short it. Oh, what a nice number. What a coincidence. 5 sixes and 6 9 and 6 7 over there. But what I mean, the structure has failed. It retraces at the similar high as it is right now. We might see indeed a retracement towards. If we're gonna see this kind of retracement over there, then I'm gonna basically enter a short. Yeah. Very short. My energy has to be contagious, you know, I remember once I had a good energy for recording this. I really, once, like a couple of months ago, but in between, I really, like every day I'm like this, you know? Almost like, I don't want to say it, I don't want to think it, but this is very like low-key energy. Low-key, tired, always tired. I always I'm always so tired. I felt good when I had my money, no? Back then. Then I felt really good. I felt like I could do anything I wanted. I could do my job even, no? I was energetic. Done my job. I didn't want to quit my job. I only quit my job because I realized it's not going to bring me anywhere, and it's going to suck my energy out of me to the point when I'm gonna be fucking dead, and I'm not gonna even notice when it happens. Just as my two friends died working that fucking job. Because you are in a comfortable trap. And you think nothing is wrong when you sleep during the day and work at night. But this is a silent killer. Okay, today I'm not noticing anything special other than I said previously. So a Nasdaq perhaps doing this. Yes. And let's be wrong about it, because this condition in trading doesn't bring anything good. You know what I hated the most about my previous job? Unstable paychecks. I did pretty much the same fucking job all the time, which was a positive thing to do the same job when you are a driver, a truck driver. This is very positive. But the paychecks were unstable. It was like, I don't know why, It was really. It always felt like this, hit from the boss. Like, okay, he's the boss. He can just without a reason cut you like 10% of your salary, or perhaps even more, because like he does this with everyone every single month. So this was one thing that really uh, like played with my ego, because it lends, it teaches you to accept that you are a fucking nothing, a piece of shit that has to accept being treated like, okay, I understand, we are on a team. Perhaps like other 20 people uh, didn't showed up in the work, so he has to uh, be creative with the pool of money, and no, but Jesus. Yeah. And also mm, the tickets, the tickets, because you cannot drive like relentlessly, or especially reckless as a truck driver, but the tickets has to come. Anyway, you have a limits in Europe. You cannot drive like 200 kilometers per hour with a truck in Germany. But anyway, there always has to be a fucking ticket. If there was a month without a ticket, it was a great holiday. Yeah, so this was pretty annoying. Oh, and also another thing that working extra hours, staying like sitting in a car jam, sometimes even over 15 hours, and not being paid for that, and even experiencing the minus 10% paycheck. Mm, like just like doing the extra work, like bringing the truck to the service, bringing it back from the service. I spent so many hours in the fucking truck. Okay, there were people that had it worse, like because the drivers have this other so a special codex of working rules, so they can be really fucked. As a truck driver, I really don't recommend anybody to be a truck driver. Because if you are a truck driver long enough, you are not a normal person anymore. It's too stressful. The responsibility is too big. I don't know how to convince yourself to be a truck driver for the whole life. I'm already like 15 months. I have 15 months break from trucking, and I still would probably burn out completely if I had to drive like 500 kilometers at once. I would burn out completely, like immediately. This is like similar to drinking. Your chef or your boss expects you to drink a bottle of vodka every single day. You cannot do this right away. You have to really get used to it. And so it is similar with driving a truck. You have to get used to it slowly, slowly. This is so fucking stressful. This is such a huge responsibility. And the people do not respect you at all. It is a miracle. Like those guys that are driving trucks, those are like angels. But this branch of economy is completely fucked. As a truck driver, you get too little money. Okay, there are good companies who pay you more money, but the work is then more more exhausting. Sometimes you really have to spend long hours, long days outside of home. Jesus. At least I'm gonna have some stories to tell to my future children, if I ever manage to have some. Okay, thank you for watching. And we haven't found any good trades, only some risky ones. And potentially few ones that are maybe less risky, but it has to we have to wait for tomorrow. Okay, thank you again for watching and for your presence. Bye.